My name is Miracle Chidomnazo Okafo. I'm a final year student of medicine and surgery. I'm someone passionate about growth. I don't like being in the same place. At least each day there should be growth. There's one principle I live by. We rise by lifting others. I love a situation where if I've been through this route, people coming through that route should at least find it a bit easier because I help in a way I can. I was your perfect moral child. I think I'll put it that way. I was good all around. A regular church girl. Come back from church, go for fellowship, weekly activity. But I was just going for going sake. I was just going to feel all righteousness. I think that was after youth camp. I was still in secondary school, I think SS2. After youth camp, we came back home. I was sleeping and I woke up and I was like, okay, this is just me again. I've been here for altar calls and everything, but what has changed? I've just still been the miracle that goes to church, nothing more. And I just decided by myself and with the Holy Spirit, I was like, okay, let's do more. Let's walk with God rather than just walking, doing the normal, going to church. Let's do more with God. And since then, by the grace of God. Okay, yes, I have played a leadership. Okay, multiple roles actually. I've played several leadership roles across various associations and organizations. Okay, working with people is actually, you can't both have challenges. So yes, there were challenges. And that's especially because people are different. They have different opinions. They have different interests. They have different views on life and generally everything. So yes, there were challenges. And how I managed them, okay, it actually depends on the people. It depends on the people. Each person will have the way I manage them. So, okay, there was one that I felt, why is this person doing like this? Why is this person behaving this way? To me, because maybe they just want to be heard. Maybe at some point, we stop listening to their opinions, we stop respecting what they had to say, and people act out because they want to be heard, they want to be loved, they want to be respected. So with that, you just sit the person down and say, okay, let me hear you. And when you listen to the person, you just see that, okay, this person, it doesn't necessarily mean the person had a problem with you or anything. The person just wanted his opinion to be heard and respected. So by the time you listen to that, that just solves it. And you see the person now becomes more open with you and will stop acting the way the person was acting before. It could be just misunderstandings, maybe just a little thing that maybe was not clarified will now end up building up resentment in somebody's heart. And of course, that becomes a breach in the way people communicate and the workflow of things. So addressing misunderstandings will help a lot, but the slightest thing can blow up to become an explosion that will scatter work. Another way I've handled challenges in the past is maybe just letting you do what you want to do. Okay, especially when there's a dispute or disagreement in maybe ideas or something. I will just, okay, everybody do this, do what you want to do. Let's see how it goes. Especially when maybe I've weighed the consequences and okay, the risk is not so much here. Or the damage, if there's any potential damage, it can be handled without much losses. Okay, I'll let you do what you want to do. Let's see how it goes. Because with that, I think people actually learn from their mistakes. So if eventually there was a mistake there, the person can learn from it and probably adapt for next potential works that may be coming up. Okay, me and my fellow executives were to work on a program or a project coming up, and each person had their respective roles. But there was one, I think that was the core. She was the person that was supposed to handle most of the logistics, and she was very, very nonchalant about it. We had talked. Well, okay, she was like, okay, I'm going to do this, and in the next 2 weeks, she still hasn't done it. That posed a very big challenge because the event was very close. Okay, I actually stood in the gap for her. I was literally doing the work she was supposed to be doing, because I couldn't afford for this program to actually fail or things not to go well. So, okay, let's do this. At some point, I had to call her and say, excuse me, this is actually your role. I'm not supposed to be doing this, but I'll be here to assist. Where if it's difficult for you, that's fine. You can always, okay, assign the work to someone else. You do this for me, do this for me. Nobody has a problem with that. So I had to just step in for her, do a lot of things for her. And it still went well. So that was a way I handled that challenge. I had to feel in, and also I pointed it out. I didn't want to do it that way to avoid it continuing over time. So I had to point it out and say, okay, it should not be done. It should not be so. We're planning an event, and we were to go to our own, it was our home, let's say our hometown or home base. You know, if you are coming somewhere, of course, you'll be the chairperson because it's your home. We had to come and just assist the way we can, but you'll be the chair. But she was more like, okay, you are going to do this, you are going to do that. She was disbursing roles, but it was not the way it should be. The communication was poor. And she was very, very, let's say, rude in that sense about it. And of course, I was not having it because there's a way to communicate with people. And if there is not a proper communication, it can lead to hatred or strife among a team of people. So I called her to order and I said, Ma, I know, okay, yes, you may be older, but each person deserves respect. So that's one of the challenges I had working with people. Some may bring the age factor or the class factor or just social economic factor. Because they are higher than you, they want to, bring that level there. But that's not so. Each person deserves respect. Like I said before, each person wants to be heard, respected, and loved. So once that is removed from any team or teamwork or executive, wherever you are leading people, wherever you're working with people, it will bring a lot of strife. So I think that's actually the base of challenges. Where they are not heard, they will start acting out. Where they are not respected, people start acting out. Where they are not loved, actually, where they don't feel welcome, they will start acting out. There was a case where, I noticed a lady in my team where I was holding leadership position. She just suddenly started dragging her feet back. I was wondering what happened. So when I reached out to her, she said she's surprised I called because nobody really cared about her. And I was like, sorry, you said, I didn't understand. But she was saying that ever since she has been in this team, she never really felt love. I was shocked because what I did was, I felt it was just something simple, reaching out to someone to know how she was doing. But that was the need. She needed to feel loved. So and with that, she actually came back and was now back with her full self, giving everything she needed to give. So there are actually various of handling challenges. The challenges may come up because of different reasons. But with each person, there is a different way to handle each challenges. Of course, teamwork has a role to play. When I say a team is a collection of different people. And with different people, you have different minds, different skills, different strengths, of course, different weaknesses. Yes. So with that collection of ideas, skills, and strengths, that makes achieving goals much easier and more spectacular. Because my own idea, it may be very good, But being combined with that of someone else, my God, mind-blowing. And the third person is going to be absolutely beautiful. So yes, teamwork plays a very, very, very vital role and is very, very important in team management. It also helps reduce stress. Once roles are divided, each person in the team has their own part to play. Once roles are divided and each person actually do what they are meant to do, things become easier on each person. You see that the workload will not be much because it's being divided. So each person just has to carry their own share. And by the time each person is done, you bring it all together and it's a whole miracle that has been created. So yes, teamwork again, it helps build healthy relationships because each person is then beautiful people around you working together. You see, that's actually a mini family because in every team there's a mini family. Okay, bringing it to SUCF. When I first joined fellowship, I was a loner. I just wanted to close fellowship and run home. But then I was forced, yes, I'm going to use that word. I was forced into a team, into a unit. And I didn't know how that was going to help then. I didn't know how much it was going to help me then. Till I found a mini family in SUCF UNEC. Media and Publicity Unit. I'm going to mention them. They are beautiful people. Yes, I found love. I found great minds there. And with that, in teamwork, I was able to refine some of my skills to where I am today. I know it doesn't end here. There's also room for more growth, but in a very, very good team, actually you find love, you find many families, right, when they all work together. And it also gives you a chance to refine your skills. You know, it's like I said before, it's a collection of different people with different skills. So if you actually even want to learn, or if you have a skill, you may meet someone that, okay, this person has better experience than you, and you learn more, and you get your skill becomes more refined, and you become better. So that's the beautiful thing about team and also teamwork. With teamwork, you create miracles. You achieve goals that with one person it may have been impossible. So a proverb says 2 heads are better than one. Yes, even multiple heads that are thinking in the same direction, working towards a goal, is actually better than one. So teamwork, with everybody playing their part, is definitely needed in any organization, in any leadership forum or anything. Teamwork, everybody playing their part in unity, in love. What will I do? Or what have I even been doing? Okay, I will just take a step back and I will leave the environment first so that I don't get too angry or I don't get too sad. I'll leave the environment, then I'll try and reassess what went wrong. Where did it all go wrong? What could have happened? Okay, I'll learn my lesson, learn from it. I'll learn from the failures. Then I'll figure out what to do from here, how to address that situation, the right words to say, because I'm working with a team. In fact, I'll express how I feel, but in a very respectful way and non-rude way. Because you want to be rude. Nobody wants, because things didn't go your way or didn't go as planned, doesn't mean I have to be rude. So I'll express how I feel. I'll also share where the fault came from in a very respectful way too. I will try and fix the errors that may have brought up the failure so that it doesn't happen again. Okay, I'll give an example. There was a time, I'm someone that doesn't really like going late. Maybe we make an appointment with somebody. I don't really like going late because I know me, I'm very busy. The other person might be busy. So if you agree to have a meeting, we set a time for it, we set a venue for it. And okay, we went, the meeting was set by, I think that was 10 a.m. And so by 10, okay, before 10, I was actually in the venue. I was there. And people were coming in by 10:30, 11. I promise you, I was shocked. Is this how we keep time? And I had somewhere to be by 12. The meeting was also supposed to last up to 2 hours. I had somewhere to be by 12. So I was okay, if I could come by 11:45 we should be done and everybody goes their way. But these people were coming in by 11 and they were unapologetic about it. I was boiling. I was not happy. I was angry. But I kept quiet and I knew I had to leave here because this meeting, my heart was no longer there because I was unhappy. It didn't go as planned. This wasn't the way it was supposed to go. So I left there, and after a while, after I had calmed down, because I try to keep quiet when I'm angry, like I said earlier. I don't want to speak words. So I called or I sent a message across that I'm surprised. I was surprised that this is how we keep to time. This is our value of time. And I aired my view in a very respectful way. And I think that was when they actually knew that, okay, this girl was actually not happy. So funny enough, I was not happy and nobody knew. Nobody knew. So if I had kept quiet about it, it wouldn't have even made any impact or anything. So one thing is, I will make clear that I am not happy about this. People may have been chill with it. But of course, I know not all things go as expected, but I'm going to talk about it. That it happened because of this and this. And I told them because of their lateness, we didn't start on time. And I had to leave the meeting midway because I went late. And it was already running. They had another meeting by 12. So I left. I aired it to them that I wasn't happy with this. And then they apologized. And in subsequent times, they tried to come not as late. Yes. Of course, there are some things that are unavoidable, but most times they try to come earlier. So that was it. I voiced my opinion in a very good way, very, very respectful. And I also ensured that if we are fixing time for a meeting, if we plan to do this, let's make the necessary arrangement. Is it convenient for you? Because as much as I respect my own time, I respect that other people have things to do with their time. So with that, there's a mutual understanding between the two parties. Okay, and I'll try to find joy in the situation. There will be little joy somewhere. In however bad a thing is, however not good it went, there is still joy in everything. So even in the failures or the issues, I'll find joy and try to cheer up the people I'm working with. Okay, let me just use the media. Maybe you're trying to live stream that all of a sudden, maybe something just goes off or something happens or network starts misbehaving. You will be angry because you did everything you could. This was an unavoidable situation and you will not be happy. That's why when people are asking, media, what's going on? Media, what's going on? Yes, the pressure can be real. But in that, I will still find joy that, okay, yes, we did all we could. This team, we are amazing. We tried, we got the equipment, we set up on time, we started, but it was beyond our control. So with that, we'll find joys. Yeah, we did all we could, but it just wasn't avoidable. So I find joy in it, encourage my team, and figure out how we can prevent this from not happening again. So, and like I said earlier on, people deserve to be respected, loved, and have their opinions heard. So even in correcting, even when things doesn't go well, still ensure that they are respected and they feel loved. Because it is in these things that they will willingly work with you again. And even in the failures, they will stick with you. because they know that even if we fail, there's room for improvement, there's room to do better, and we are still loved in this. If I had one more year, I would make use of opportunities more. There were some opportunities I turned down because of time. Medical school is draining, but I will try to balance things more and make use of some opportunities that I neglected or rejected. Also, I'll reach out to people more. I was alone at some point till I decided to, okay, let's come out of this shell. So I'm going to reach out to people more, help them in the way I can. Of course, I can't do everything. I can't help them in every area they're looking for help. But in the ways I can, I will help them become better versions of themselves. And for the path I trod, for those that want to trod in that same path, I would make things easier. I would offer myself more, even though I'm busy, offer myself more to help them do better. Then my skills, I will gather more skills because I had the opportunity all round to get more, to have access to more, and mostly for free and some for subsidized rate. So I'll gather more skills and pour into people more if I had time. But I have no regrets though. I have no regrets. I did what I could do to the people I could reach. I did my best for them.